Hello people, sorry I'm a few minutes late, but I had a bit of technical problems here. Can you hear me? I guess you can hear me. Let's see if we can make this work now. So I have my notes here. Yeah. Sorry guys. Technical stuff sometimes. Oh my god. I think we're on. Okay. What happened? What happened? No. Come on. Okay, let's see. Oh God, this day has been something different. But here we are. Hello, welcome to my weekly Wednesday live broadcast. My name is Juha Ruokangas, your humble servant, on a mission from the gods and goddesses of fretted instruments. Now, last week I did got a special episode drilling rather deep into the fundamentals of, well, human condition, I guess, being a human being, meaning of life even. Well, I got more private messages, more feedback than I've ever before gotten. And, surprisingly many of you guys opened up about your personal lives, shared me your story, and sincerely I want to thank you for that. Thank you for your confidence. Those certain fundamentals, they're the same for us all, no matter the walk of life, the country we live, color of our skin, one planet, one race of human beings. So really, thank you. Our 25th anniversary is approaching fast. November 28th on Facebook at the Ruokangas Rendezvous group. I'll share the Facebook event link to the chat now. If I can do this from my trembling hands. There it is. There you have it. And you know what? Our brand new merchandise shop is now open as from today. So kudos for that. Thank you so much to Junnu Vuorela, who literally bent over backwards to make this happen. And thank you also to Topi Vuorela, Junnu's brother. You guys have been amazing. So I'm just very, very, very happy. What happened? Now there's something happening here. Wait. I had some trouble with the sound earlier on, and well, let's hope that technology won't fail us more than it has during these past half an hour, an hour. So, anyway, thank you so much, Junnu and Topi, to make this happen with our new merchandise shop, T-shirt shop. Well, Emma and I work pretty hard too. So thank you, Emma. Also, the link is coming right here to the chat, to the new merchandise shop. You can also go there from our website. merchandise link. But here's the direct link. And I'm sorry about my cough. It still hasn't recovered. I'm asking if I noticed that Emma was there commenting something. So Emma, if you hear, it would be wonderful if you could bring me a glass of water. And maybe you could bring that one T-shirt that we ordered, that sample T-shirt of the weekly, the 25th anniversary T-shirt. Maybe you can bring that over also, because I forgot that to the other end when I was struggling to make this work for today. So this has been a bit crazy. Yeah. But let's not let this stuff stop us. So, you go to the shop.ruokangas.com, brand new 25th anniversary T-shirts and more. Go have a look. But not now, silly. After the broadcast. Okay, you can have a quick peek now if you want. Look, I'm hypnotizing you, Buy T-shirts, buy mugs, buy more T-shirts. Great Christmas presents for everyone you know. Okay, enough of advertising. But anyways, today we have a completely different topic from last week. I'm still in our 25th anniversary vibes here, reflecting my experience, but from a totally different perspective. So, guys, over the past 25 years or so, I've had the rare opportunity, a privilege, to get to know a lot of guitar makers around the world. A lot of people making their living in this same crazy business, or it's more like a lifestyle to a lot of us. More like a lifestyle, less than a business. And so I've also had the opportunity, the possibility to play a lot of different guitars. One turning point in this regard happened about 10 years ago when I exhibited for the first time at the Montreal Guitar Show in Canada. This was a show dedicated to handmade guitar, and I got to meet many luthiers that I have more or less idolized, followed, sorts of role models of mine that I had before only seen in books or in reviews, mainly in nice coffee table books about handmade guitars. And at the Montreal Guitar Show, and since then in many other places, I've had a chance to play, not only meet and get to know these people, but play their guitars, which has often been really an exciting experience for me. And then, in 2014, the first edition of the Holy Grail Guitar Show that Emma and I were co-founding and organizing, put it together, that was like the craziest ever fantasy wonderland for a guitar nerd like myself. I don't mean necessarily my guitars now, even more so the chance to see, to hear, to experience all those wonderful musical instruments from all over the world. Get to know their makers from 35 or more countries from all over the planet, gathered under one roof. The atmosphere was just tangible, the enthusiasm, the creativity, the inspiration, quite unforgettable. So today I will reflect this facet of my work, not as a guitar maker, but as a guitar enthusiast, a guitar player, a guitar fan, just like you. And I've picked some of my favorites. And I set some rules for myself to make this impossibly difficult task a bit easier. And rule number 1, I focused this time only on guitars made in Europe. So this narrowed down the choice to maybe hundreds or maybe thousands instead of tens of thousands. And rule number 2, I narrowed the choice to electric guitars only. Rule number 3, I let myself choose only from guitars, only from brands that I have first-hand experience of. In other words, only guitars I have held in my own hands, guitars I have played. And last but not least, what rule was this? I can't remember how many rules I had. Maybe this is not rule number 4. In order to be slightly less biased in my choices, I could not choose any Ruokangas instrument into this listing. Otherwise, we happen to have 7 officially launched models: the Duke, the VSOP, the Mojo, the Unicorn, the Eon, the Hellcat, and the Steam Bass. That's 7. My 7 favorite instruments made in Europe. But that would be lame. That would be lame. And that would be selfish. So that would be selfish. And bad behavior, bad manners. Much more favorites. But hey, this title is a title. Rules are rules. So 7 it will be. But this doesn't mean that my other favorites wouldn't be my favorites any longer. They are. Maybe I'll list a few runner-ups in the end. Runner-ups. I mean, come on. Let's not take this too seriously, okay? This is fun. This is just plain good old fun. So we'll see where this ends up. These 7 favorite guitars made in Europe, they're not in any particular order of preference, but I have saved the most meaningful guitar to me personally as the last one. So we'll do a countdown from 7 to 1, and yeah, the last one of them, the number 1, it will be the most meaningful of this bunch to me personally. Not necessarily at all the best of them. I mean, that's another thing. I wouldn't be that arrogant, to claim that I could seriously pick the 7 best guitars out of all the thousands of brands. And so, come on. This is just today. Tomorrow, the listing could be different, or 1 week from now, 1 year from now. But today, this is what I picked. How it is. Guitar, it is indeed a very personal instrument. There is a certain intimacy to it. So it is often a matter of heart and soul than the rational mind. So keep that in mind. I got so many comments from you. Hello everyone who is here watching. Damien, Poo Ninja, Mibu, Shaggy's Faction, Emma, Sven, Paolo, Greg B, Vincent. Yeah, great. What is that? Big book something? All sounds good, no? Great. Okay. Samuli, welcome everyone. Bruno, great. Heavy Fat Bob, thank you. Congratulations, Juha, for 25th anniversary. Thank you very much. Let's bring that up. That's okay. This is a little bit selfish again, but I'm bringing it up. 25th anniversary. Hey. Cool. Emma, sure, honey. So I'm guessing that my water is on its way, and a T-shirt. You want to come to the camera? Don't want to show? You just I need to show. show your at least wave a bit so they know it's you. Yeah, you could.
Hello.
You could show a little bit of your. Just no. She's too shy. Next time. Honey water, great. Like last time, Emma's grandmother's recipe, Svea grandmother's honey water. Yeah. Yeah, so I'm gonna show you. Sven says, I need no t-shirt. It's getting cold. I need a Finnish winter jacket. We will see what we can do with that. There might be soon available in our shop. Who knows? There isn't yet. I admit there is no winter jacket. I'm so sorry, but okay. The dream of realities, Marwin. Hey, from Bangkok. Hey, Marwin. Nice to see you here too. Dennis, Andres from Costa Rica. Rhino. Hey, there's so much people. Great. I'm going to show you the t-shirt. This is just a sample shirt. It doesn't have a back print, but it's here. One of the most innovative electric guitars in quite a while, I think. And at the same time, it is one of the very few guitars made in Europe in the recent decades that is not exactly a luthier-built guitar. Okay, it is, luthiers are involved, but it's the product or family of products, it's intended more to be a serial production, even mass production guitar. And this is unusual these days because, as you know, the way the world has developed, so it's really it's quite unusual that there is such a company aspiring for making this type of guitars in Europe. And I have no idea how popular this brand, I don't know how popular they have become, as I have no time to follow that side of the business too much, but the guitar certainly made a long-lasting impression to me when I first saw it at Frankfurt Music Messe a long time ago. Can't remember the year, sorry, but I am of course talking about Relish guitars from Switzerland and their debut instrument Jane, that they wrote you a photo of that. Those of you who don't know, wait a minute, where are my photos? My photos have disappeared. No, they haven't. Here they are. Okay, so here, okay, this is the Relish Jane, and the aesthetics of it aren't obviously everybody's cup of tea. And when I first saw it, I didn't really like the way it looked. But that's me, you know, the guy geared towards more traditional takes on guitars, as you can see from our own models. But the technology, the innovation, the enthusiasm of you know, that has gone into designing and making this guitar. You know, look, this guitar has, I would really put it into the category of same magnitude of innovation built into it as experience or not, I don't know. Maybe the times are changing or have already changed. In any case, we're not here to analyze successes and business, but talk about guitar love, passion, enthusiasm. So, hey, look at the construction of this guitar. An aluminum frame, wooden top and back, laminated, pressed to form. And the pickups, you don't see it quite in this picture, but the pickups they developed this kind of like a quick change system. So you can swap to different pickups without any tools. It's with magnets, so you just kind of, or was it with magnets? I'm not sure. It somehow just pops in and you know, from the back, you kind of pull out a pickup, you put a new one. And the electronics, let me show you another picture. I think I have one more picture here. No, it doesn't show. No, okay, here you can see some of the control. Yeah, there you can see the pick. Yeah, the selector switch. Poo Ninja says the selector switch. So I'm going to show you that picture again where you can see that. Because there's the first picture. Now you can see there, somewhere there is that white thing where you would expect a switch to be. Well, that is not it is a switch. It's a kind of a touch screen or a slider where you just slide your finger on it and you know, instead of switch they have faders. I think they call it the fader system. You sweep your finger over it and there's like 17 different sounds dug out from those two pickups. Now you can't deny that this is not crazy cool. I think it's just so cool. And they've also experimented with for Sylvan, the CEO, co-founder, a good friend of mine, and the whole Relish team. Sylvan, if you watch this video, feel free to share it to your followers too. And you guys, you tell me, what do you think of the Relish guitars? Put your comments down. Yeah, that's it. We're gonna move on. We're gonna move on to number 6. Number 6. What do we have? A guitar brand from Germany. Now, I've known this maker of these instruments for a long time, but it's funny that I never held any of them in my hands, even if the maker is a dear friend, until this happened in 2015. Let me go to the next picture. This happened in 2015, 5 years ago. That is me playing a Dimel Guitar Works instrument, a Dimel Firestar. Firestar. Isn't that a cool name? Super cool name for a guitar. Firestar. I wish it would be my guitar name. Well, here we are in this picture. I am playing the guitar in Berlin at a bar called the Zombie Kitchen at a jam. I'm playing. Can you see which song I'm playing? No, you can't see. But I think I'm playing a solo from pentatonic E, I think. E minor pentatonic. So I'm playing Superstition by Stevie Wonder there. The event was nonetheless than a Pajelli Ruokangas Saturday Night Live celebration. That's what we called it. We threw a private party, Claudio and Claudia Pajelli colleagues' brands. And one of them was Dimel Guitar Works. And when I was invited on stage, that Firestar was the guitar I was given. And I had never played a Dimel guitar. And you know what? The guitar sounded fantastic. Awesome. And this is something I would have never thought, because I've never really been into this style guitars. I have to admit that, this style, it always has felt too big for me somehow. Well, I'm a small guy. Frank Dimel, the designer of the Firestar, he's a big guy. But the lesson learned here is that you can never know if you don't try, if you don't pick it up and play. And the next time I played a Dimel guitar, it was at a guitar show in Japan years later. I was there exhibiting as a guest of our Japan distributor, Masahiro Murayama-san. Hello, Masahiro. Hello, Yumiko. And I could spend a good while with Dimel guitars and other great guitars, Soul Tool guitars, other guitars that Masahiro sells in Japan. In those little quieter moments, maybe before the opening of the show. So I still, because I remember when picking up, I was thinking that, do I still like, or was it just because it was the party and it was that kind of in the heat of the moment? But I still loved the Dimel Firestar, I have to say. Yeah. And it has that very cool circuit in it that's Frank's contribution also to the crazy world of guitar electronics. The Leslie, the not spelt like the Leslie, the Hammond rotating speaker system, but inspired by it. A mechanism, I think it spells Leslee, Leslie. And you have to find some YouTube clips or something about it. I really dig that. It's a very, very cool idea. I love it. And it's really kindred spirit. How do you say that? Yeah, we're soulmates with Frank, so definitely it's one of those things. Our Val Bucker and Frank's Leslie and this kind of stuff. It's just uber super cool. Yeah, so I love the Dimel Firestar, and maybe one day, who knows? Maybe I have a chance to get me one. Who knows? One day. Time is running, so we're gonna move on. To number 5. What? Back to Switzerland? No. Yes, back to Switzerland. Yes, it is. It appears 2 out of my 7 choices happen to be Swiss guitars. So there is some sort of thing with me in Switzerland. I've never visited Switzerland. Maybe I should. Or maybe I shouldn't. Just stick to the cold, remote Finland. So let me show you a photo dating back to year 2001. This is not a very nice quality photo. I apologize about it, but I have to put it there. Some of you guys may recognize the person in it. Well, you recognize the logo on the wall anyway. I took this photo at Frankfurt Music Messe 2001. And I believe it was the first time I ever met Master Pajelli. Claudio Pajelli, that is. So I'm sending hugs to, I already mentioned Pajelli. We had the party, the Saturday night live celebration party together with the Pajellis. So I'm sending hugs to both you, Claudio, and to your lovely wife, Claudia from Finland. What can I say? Pajelli guitars, you know, Claudio and Claudia, they are famous of typically not repeating their work. So they would design and make a one-off, or maybe a few like in this photo, and then move on to the next concept. And they wouldn't make this type of guitars again. And for business, this is just crazy, right? But like I already mentioned earlier, for most of us, really, this is no business. This is a dear lifestyle, or maybe a hopeless obsession, like a drug. You know, should stop making the guitars, but just maybe just one more. Claudio's guitars are plain and simple. They are playable art. With my experience, the emphasis for me personally is still on the word playable. They are art, but they're playable. They're awesome musical instruments, awesome guitars, regardless of the sometimes wacky looks. The recent years, the guitars I've seen by the Pajelli couple, they've been more acoustic instruments, but the revelation I had of the ingenious Pajelli style was the electric guitars back in the year 2001. You know, even if Pajelli doesn't repeat their work, the guitars are still instantly recognizable. Isn't that interesting? You know, you can really tell it's Claudia's heart and soul in those instruments. And them being some of the most wonderful human beings in this weird guitar business, that's a nice bonus when doing business. You know, it's nice to deal with nice people. Nice to buy a guitar from a nice person. More than a purchase, more than a guitar. I will. I don't have links in the description yet, but I will add links after the stream is over to all these brands, makers, guitars, so you can have a look. But you know, there's always the Google. You probably already found them, and you will find them so easily. Damien says here, the Pajellis do have the most beautiful sparkle finishes I've ever seen. Yes, they do. They definitely do. They're really out there. Mind-bogglingly wonderful guitars. Okay, moving on to the number 4 of my 7 favorite electric guitars made in Europe. So, this guy, I interviewed him a while back. A good friend, a brother in arms. And when I tell you where he's from, you're gonna guess who I'm talking about. I'm talking about an Austrian guitar maker, and I'll show you a picture of a guitar. Just a second. Here it comes. Yep. Michael Spalt. This is one of his one-of-a-kind totem guitars with resin cast tops with the effects cast into resin. Now, look at these details. I'm going to show you a couple more photos because this is just something. What's going on in Michael's mind when he's making these? Now that is what I would like to know. What's going on in his mind? Look at that. I'm going to show you one more picture because these are just so crazy. Look at that thing. So Michael collects these artifacts from here and there and everywhere and composes these wonderful artworks, the guitar. Now, you could have seen similar artifact-infused resin top guitars by other makers, but trust me, those are copies. This is the real thing. You know, a lot of builders have taken inspiration from Michael's work, and nothing wrong with that. over the years, of course, everybody borrows from everybody or someone, and which actually proves the value of Michael's craft. But sometimes it's been this kind of a inspiration. It's been in the case of Michael Spalt and these other maybe younger generation or other builders. Sometimes it's been on the verge, too much by a certain other maker. You might know who you are, and if you recognize yourself, you should be ashamed of yourself. Right, that's enough of disciplining. But he borrows from someone, I know, but there is that fine limit, I feel. And when I visited the Spalts first time years ago in Vienna, I was really quite suspicious of Michael's guitars, which I didn't tell to him, but I was. They were beautiful guitars, but would they deliver? Because sometimes art guitars are more art and less guitars, if you know what I mean. I've seen those too. And nothing wrong with that, mind you. It's just me, my preference. For me, a guitar, well, it is seriously a tool. It's a tool to communicate your heart, your soul, your desires, your sadness, your anxiousness, anything. The ups and the downs. A tool first and foremost. Well, anyways, picking up a guitar by Michael Spalt, it was one of those totem guitars, similar to the one I showed you pictures of. Boy, was I in for a surprise. I did not expect the guitar to be what it was. Hello, Antti. Hello, Antti. Noticing more people are joining. That's great. Invite your friends too. This Michael Spalt guitar was really one of those guitars that melts in your hands. And I hope that you have had that a chance to experience how that feels, what that means when a guitar melts in your hands. If you don't, I can help you with that. But so can Michael Spalt, seriously. On top of sounding, resonating the right way, the healthy way, Michael's guitars have a certain friendliness in them that is very enjoyable. It's hard to put it into words, but that's how I'd call it. They're comfortable, relaxed, like when spending time with an old friend, if you know what I mean. You pick up from where you left off, even if there would be years in between you seeing each other. That's how Michael's guitars feel to me. And yeah, one day maybe I will have a chance. Yeah. To acquire one of Michael's guitars. I hope so. I hope that day comes. So I'm sending regards to Michael and Tanya from Finland. And then I'm moving on to the next one. Time is running out. Number 3. Now, could someone tell me what it is that isn't quite a fish, but not a bird either, and yet resembles sort of both? Well, that, ladies and gentlemen, that is a Toefl birdfish. A Toefl birdfish. Another guitar that I've just never been able to wrap my mind around completely. I mean, there is something alienish, something science fiction frightening even about the design. I mean, look at it. It's not something I would necessarily like to hold and play. You know what I mean? It's not necessarily inviting in that way. But here's the thing. When you do pick up that scary cyborg of a guitar, when you do pick it up, it doesn't feel at all like it looks. First of all, it sounds pretty damn good to be like that, to look like that. And secondly, it is comfy to hold. It plays really nicely. I recall Ulrich Toefl, the designer and maker of the birdfish guitar. he calls it a modular guitar composed of these, well, modules that are interchangeable easily. And those two bars there, up there, the blue ones, they're what he calls the tone bars. And the guitar comes with two sets of them, crafted of different wood species. And they make the guitar sound different. I think it's mind-blowing. And when this guitar came out, it was just totally out of this world. Nowadays, yeah, you can see a lot of people maybe doing something. There's so much makers, but again, just like I was telling about Michael Spalt's totem guitars, they're the real deal regarding those resin tops, those artifact infused resin top guitars. So the birdfish, it's the first of its kind, for sure. And again, as you can see, this is nothing like our own guitars, and maybe that is why I find these guitars so fascinating too. Isn't that interesting? I couldn't be more passionate and dedicated to the way we make our guitars, to the style of our guitars, but that's the beauty of the time we live, We live the true renaissance of handmade guitar. So much creativity, so much talent, so much options for all kinds of musicians, enthusiasts, collectors. And among them, Ulrich Toefl, with a background of an industrial designer with a little bit of insanity mixed in. That's what you get, a birdfish. I think the world would be just not quite as fun place without the birdfish, I think. Yeah. That's it. We're moving on. We're moving on to number 2. We're getting there. Now let me show you another photo. Where is it? Here. Now, yeah, this guy showed up from Portugal, of all places, at our shop sometime 5-6 years ago. He was touring as a technician. I always recall it was Anthrax that he was touring with, but I kind of think it was someone else. One of the metal bands. Okay, I will call it Anthrax anyways. Adriano can correct me later, because I can't remember. But anyway, he worked as a professional technician at the time, and he told me when he visited our shop, and he was really kind of shy. He even told me afterwards that he had come to our shop parking lot and then gotten so nervous that he had driven away, and because he was just so nervous, had to go. Was it so he had to go eat something and kind of reconsider if he would have the courage to knock at the door. And well, anyways, long story short, this guy, Mr. Adriano Sergio from Portugal, he told me that he dreams of making guitars for his living. And from that first visit on, we became friends. Well, it was just that spark, that connection. That is so wonderful about being a guitar maker. So there's so much great people in this business. Well, he wasn't making guitars. He had made guitars, but he wasn't making it for his living. And, we became friends, and I wasn't sure if I would. I remember encouraging him to join the European Guitar Builders Association and get involved and getting kind of more into the game and getting to, familiar with the people and so on. But still, I wasn't sure if I would see him again after that visit, or if he would be, able to make his dream come true. And then in year 2016, Adriano exhibited at the Holy Grail Guitar Show. Yeah, 2016. Let me show you another picture. Without the beard this time. And you can see from my expression that I'm pretty thrilled about what he has brought to the show. What was the name of this guitar? Lisboa, right? Yes, isn't that Lisboa? Some of you who was watching probably knows. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think the guitar model is called Lisboa. From his hometown, Lisbon. Yes. And I think, yeah. Another wonderful beast. The guitar, I mean, not the guy. From outer space, right? Man, I tell you, I fell in love with that guitar. There is just something godly about the design. I know Adriano is probably gonna weep when he maybe not, but he might when he hears me talk about this. But really, the guitar is just so comfortable, and it sounds so amazing. I'm gonna show you some details of that guitar because it's just so. There's the guitar like so. No, I don't have so much pictures here, but I have one more that kind of tells you a little bit. Okay, there you have the back. I think this is actually from a different guitar from the previous picture, but might be the same model. But here you see these absolutely amazing outer space shapes of the guitar. Let's put it back there for a while, actually, so you can admire it. Adriano is just a true artist, a sculptor, a natural born wizard in what he does. I have no words for this really, because there's just something organically irresistible in the shapes, and I don't think you can fully realize it and understand it until you hold the guitar in your hands. They're so lightweight, and the shapes are so kind of, again, another instrument melting in your hands. I have no words, but I'm sending our love from Finland to Adriano to Portugal. Keep on doing what you're doing. It's just no words. And we're gonna move on to the number one guitar. Now, this is a different take. This is different in from the other ones. I told you in the beginning that it is personally very meaningful to me, and for a very specific reason. I think it's fair to say that without the man making these guitars, I wouldn't probably be here doing these broadcasts. I wouldn't probably be. Maybe I would be a guitar maker, but I have learned so much from this guitar maker. Maybe even I've learned a lot about making guitars, But even more I have learned about the approach, the attitude, the fearlessness of going for it, for real. And yeah, it's a guitar that is made in Finland. He's my teacher from guitar making school, and his name is Matty Nevalainen, and this luthier's name, and he designed in the early 90s a guitar that he gave the name Flying Fin. And why is it so significant to me? Well, I'm going to show you a couple of pictures of it. I apologize, I couldn't find very high quality images. Matty is still making from time to time. He is retired, but from time to time he makes these guitars. They are in Finland in museums. There a lot of professional players play these guitars in Finland, also elsewhere. I mean, there was a time in the 90s, early 2000s when they were quite up and coming in America as well. It's the first guitar that ever was reviewed, first guitar made images. Oops, what did I do there? I think I took away the watermark. Okay, no, now I took that away. What's going on? There you have two pictures of Matti's guitars. And well, how would I explain this? I'm going to show you one other thing. You know what I'm having here? You know, this, as you can see, Finnish Guitar Works Flying Fin. Let me open this. There's the introduction page. There's some stuff of the colors. I had never seen a guitar done with pearl celluloid colored in sunburst finishes, like Matty was doing. It was quite. I think he was the first one doing that back in those days. And this brochure, as you can see, is very handmade like thing. You know, even the color samples in it, they are actual pieces of celluloid that Matty's. Yeah, here it comes. So this is why it's so significant to me. When I was studying in the guitar making school, and 1 year before I graduated, Matty asked me that could I work for him. So I founded my company, and I way before I graduated, and I worked for Matty. It was a twofold. On one hand, I was helping Matty out with English language, and you know, with his brochure, with his it was not email exchange, but his communications with fax, with letters. You know, there was no emails at the time. And I have made the copywriting on this brochure for Matty. And what I learned from Matty is that, you know, even if I'm here in the remote location of Finland, anything is possible. And this was at a time when typically everything was not possible that easily, because we didn't have that. We didn't live in this global. The Guitar Player article at the time. Someone is asking here, can I share the recipe for the honey water? Emma, I think this question is for you. But yeah, I hadn't prepared so much what to say about Flying Finn, what to say about Matty, but maybe it's better that way. I will just say that Matty's guitars, they will forever hold a special place in my heart, and if you look at the shape of that guitar, there is a guitar in Germany, or a German manufacturer, Duesenberg, who has a very similar looking design these days, but again, that is a copy. Maybe not consciously so, but maybe it's not a copy. I don't know, but this one was the first that looked like this. It's a kind of a hybrid thing from Telecaster, from Stratocaster, from different things, and it was a very, very, very cool thing. And in addition to helping Matty out with the copywriting, with his English language and all that stuff, which taught me so much about the world, about the guitar business, about all kinds of things. I also got to make guitars with him, and it's awesome. Matty had some techniques that were fantastic. The way he installed binding to guitars, the way he scraped the binding clean. We still do it the same way. Up to this day, we scrape the bindings with this exact same technique as Matty taught me 8 years ago. So, Matty, I hope, okay, let's put those pictures away. That was Flying Finn. Okay, I think I mentioned runner-ups, right? Runner-ups. Well, not really runner-ups. Runner-ups. Great guitars. Basically, there will be so many. Basically anything from Nick Huber. I love the Dolphin I have from Nick. Rainer Tausch. I like his 665, that guitar with the longer scale. It sounds amazing. He makes it from locally harvested pear tree. At least he used to make them. Maybe he makes them different kinds these days. But Rainer Tausch, great guitar. Soul Tool, I also already mentioned. Amazing instruments. Oh my God, there's so many great luthiers, little brands in Europe, and so many of those great guitar makers are dear friends too. Like Fran Guitars, Spain. Kisses and hugs to Fran and Rosa. Hello. Fran, we have to continue our musical project together. I know you're waiting material from me, and yeah, I know. But so we have this. Yeah. So there are so much great guitars, and this was just a scratch on the surface. My 7 favorites as they came out today, and yeah. We are heading to a very busy week at Ruokangas Guitars, preparing for the 25th anniversary Facebook online event at the Ruokangas Rendezvous Facebook group. And I'm going to say it here out loud. We're going to post that also to Facebook. It's like a public post. Put it to newsletter that there's going to be a t-shirt giveaway raffle. We're going to give away 25 25th anniversary t-shirts among all those of you who will record a little video playing guitar. It could be our guitar. If you have our guitar, play our guitar. If you don't have our guitar, never mind, play whatever guitar you have and you love. Record something, publish it to your Facebook, share it to the Ruokangas Rendezvous group, and importantly, hashtag, I'm going to put it here, I'm going to put the hashtag here to the chat. There you go. Hashtag Ruokangas 25 anniversary. Hashtag your video on Facebook with that. And among all those who have posted your video on the 28th, among all of those, we will do a raffle of 25 t-shirts. Sounds good? I think it's exciting. And yeah, and go check out now. Now's the time to go check out that shop.ruokangas.com merchandise shop. Thanks again, Junnu. Thanks again, Topi. Fantastic work. Thanks, Java, also, who helped out a little bit on the very last minute, so we could get things right. So yeah, that's all for now. It's 10:05. It is October 18th, year 2020. 10:05 p.m. finish time, and I'm signing off. And take care, look after your loved ones, be well, and keep on sharing that guitar love by liking, by sharing to your social medias. Subscribe to this channel and hit that bell icon to be notified of our next video. It does help us, me to do this work. The more the gospel is shared to more people, the gospel is shared to. Yep. So good night, peace, love, and good music. Till next time. Where do I put that? Till next time. Bye bye.